Okay, this video review lesson is going to go through how to form questions in Spanish. It's not going to be as detailed as the lesson that I taught you guys in class, but I wanted to kind of go back through this with you so that you know how to form questions in Spanish. First thing, there are two types of questions. Doesn't matter if you're asking it in Spanish, English, Portuguese, French, does not matter. There's closed-ended questions and open-ended questions. Closed-ended questions are questions that you can just answer yes or no to. Did you eat breakfast this morning? Did you take the dog out to go to the bathroom? Did you hit your brother? Yes, no. Open-ended questions are questions that you can't just answer yes or no to. You have to give some information. So instead of, did you eat breakfast? Yes, no. What did you eat for breakfast? Or where did you eat breakfast? You have to give some information. Closed-ended questions. These are our yes, sí, or no. Yes or no questions, okay? There's a couple ways that we can form these. First way is we can use intonation. It's a very fancy word for just saying change how your voice sounds. So I'm going to use this statement down here, which is Juan estudia, Juan studies. I can change this to does Juan study or is Juan studying just by changing how my voice sounds. Juan estudia, Juan studies. Juan estudia, now it is does Juan study? Just by changing my voice. It's raising your voice at the end. Juan estudia. Next way is you can add a tag to a statement. So Juan estudia, and then you can add a tag to the end. Juan estudia, no? It's like saying Juan's studying, right? The third way, and this is how you're going to be forming a question if you are doing it in written form, because you can't do intonation in written form. You can add a tag in written form, but more often than not, you're going to be using inversion. Inversion is a fancy way of saying put your verb before your subject. We do the same thing in English. So I could say, you are eating, and if I change that to a question, I'm going to put my verb before. Are you eating? So how you form these in Spanish, this is our formula for forming inversion questions. Okay, this is how we do it. So you have your upside down question mark, verb, subject, whatever the rest of the question is, and then your regular question mark. So questions in Spanish always have two question marks, okay? So using Juan estudia, and I'm going to use inversion, this is how that question would look as an inversion question. I have my question mark, verb, estudia, subject is Juan. I don't really have anything else to my question, so then upside down question mark. Estudia Juan? Sí, Juan estudia. Or no, Juan no estudia. So those are closed-ended. Open-ended questions, so now I don't want to know, is Juan studying? I might want to know, what is Juan studying? Or where is Juan studying? So first thing, you have to go back and review your question word vocab, okay? You need to know what does donde mean? Where? What does como mean? How? How do you say from where? De donde? How do you say what? Okay, so you have to go back and review your question word vocab. Once you know your question word vocab, to form open-ended questions, it's super easy because you're going to use the formula that we used to form our yes or no questions, except you're gonna be adding a question word to the beginning. So if you took this out, this is the formula that we just used to form inversion questions. Only thing that I'm adding is a question word at the very beginning. So instead of estudia Juan, is Juan studying? If I wanted to know what is Juan studying, I'm going to use my formula. So I have my upside down question mark. Next, my question word. So I'm going to ask, what is Juan studying? So the question word that I'm going to use is que. Next comes my verb, estudia. Next comes my subject, which is Juan. I don't have anything else in my question, so then I end it with my upside down question mark. ¿Qué estudia Juan? What does Juan study? If I wanted to ask, where is Juan studying? Then I would change this to donde, because that means where. ¿Dónde estudia Juan? Okay, so that is how you form questions in Spanish. The biggest thing to remember is verb comes first. Okay, verb comes first. All questions in Spanish have 2 question marks. That's different from ours. Upside down one to start, regular one to end. All right, take care, everybody.